how has coronavirus impacted the number of classes being taught on TCC's campus?
So obviously it's impacted the number of face-to-face courses we could have, but we have about 20 to 25% of our courses are taught face-to-face. The first thing we did was do an inventory of every single classroom, and we went in and literally measured 6 feet apart, 10 feet from the faculty. And then we could designate how many actual classrooms we had available to put face-to-face.
Wow.
And what we found is a lot of our rooms, once we put the 6 feet and did all of that, it was like 10 chairs. You're like, well, most of our classes are not a size of 10. So that limited a little bit of how many we could put, but we still put about 25% of our courses are face-to-face. And they pretty much aligned with what students wanted too. We did a couple of surveys, and students wanted the college to be open, but they didn't necessarily say they wanted to take them all face-to-face. They actually liked the live format.
Yeah.
And so so then what happened is a good percentage of the courses that we've offered are live, and that's that synchronous format. And we started that in the summer because we did a survey of students in the spring when we went to remote learning, and one of the things they missed was engaging with one another and engaging with faculty. So in the summer we launched live, and then we expanded that in the fall term, and about 20% of our students take only online courses, and we've kept that number at about 20%.
Okay, so do you know like the exact number of classes being taught in person, or is it just 20%?
So yeah, a ballpark figure is there's about 1,300 sections of courses that we offer.
Oh wow.
So it's it's about that. So it's we know we offer 1,300 different sections, and I would say it's about 20% between that range of how many are face-to-face.
And then what percent would you say are being taught online right now, and then through the TCC live format?
So of the 1,300, about 20% are online. So if you take about 20% are face-to-face, and another 20% are online, it gives you about 60%, 60% are in the live format, which was the most popular for students in terms of student enrollment as well.
Wow. So compared to last semester, what percentage of classes were taught in person last fall? And then what percentage were taught online last fall?
So last fall, about 20% of our classes were taught online. Mm-hmm. And I would say about maybe 10% were like hybrid, similar to live, and then the rest were face-to-face. But we did a survey and we looked at our enrollment data, and like I was sharing, 20% of our students take courses only online. Mm-hmm. About 40% take online and face-to-face. And then the other group was face-to-face. So that kind of informed not just what was happening with COVID, but how could we create a schedule that matched what students wanted also, and what students needed, so that it could have some alignment with that. So obviously our greatest pivot was the face-to-face sections going live, and we remained pretty constant in terms of the only online, which is asynchronous. You kind of work and you meet the faculty goals and objectives in that timely basis, while the live was much more, it's synchronous, like face-to-face, and you engage in this way.
Okay. Do you think TCC will continue to use the live format after coronavirus in the future? Like, do you think you'll continue to use the live format?
For sure. And I think it's because you're telling us to.
Yeah.
Or hearing from students how this is awesome, right? Like, getting past being afraid or the technical difficulties, but now seeing how you can go into breakout sessions, how you're learning. I think students are gonna, in a way, like ask for, demand of it. And the faculty are also seeing how it is helpful. Like, for example, in English 1101, we made all those sections live. And the reason we did is because when you were in 1101, you probably remember doing peer checking of papers.
Mhm.
Well, hard to do that in class in a COVID environment. But what faculty are finding is it's really good in these breakout sessions because you can share your screen, you can do all these things. So I think the faculty are also, as they learned more of the technology, getting excited about the way that they use it, and they're sharing ideas with each other as well. So I think for sure it will now be another instructional modality. We had online, we had face-to-face, and I think we will stay with our live, which is like learning interactively in a virtual environment. You know how we love acronyms, but
So, would you say that overall students have liked the Zoom live format, that they want it to continue?
we did surveys. So according to surveys, yes. We did surveys in the summer, and we did surveys again in the fall. So students, said pretty much, we asked, like, how satisfied are you with your overall experience with live classes? And the majority of them said very satisfied and neutral. Very small number were not satisfied. So we've tried to learn like more about why they weren't satisfied, but that was like 5%.
Oh, wow.
Like 25% were very satisfied, 37% were satisfied, and 16% were like neutral. So you put the 37 and 25, nearly 60% were were really satisfied. And then you add that 16, you've got 85% were okay with them. And then you've got, the other ones where we can start to work out what happened. In some cases, it was technology issues, or they just didn't feel comfortable looking at each other this way, like the Brady Bunch.
So one last question, has the enrollment at TCC been affected by coronavirus?
So nationally, enrollment's been affected at 2-year, colleges, community colleges. It's been, affected throughout the whole state. So we did have a, small decline in enrollment, like 5%. That's compared, to other colleges in the state have had 10 and 15% enrollment decline. So we feel like we've done really well at making sure that we made it easy enough for students to go through virtual orientation. We did fast pass kind of express sessions for registration. We did try to remove like all the barriers. And then we started like the TCC Scholars Program. We did a lot of outreach during the summer that we think helped not have such an impact on our enrollment. But we are slightly down at 5%. And we weren't able to keep many of our students from last fall. We are just slightly down there in terms of the students that were with us last fall that didn't come back this fall. But what we're finding out is they transferred. Many got then admitted into FSU or FAMU or one of their universities closer to home.